see how long it'll go.
You walk further into the woods until you get to a rank-smelling bog. Suddenly, an 8-foot skeletal humanoid appears from behind a tree. No, I'm just kidding. There's nothing there. But I trusted that you could imagine what it looked like. You have just witnessed the live-action version of a fantasy scenario. I basically described some menace in such a way that you could imagine what it looked like, and had we actually been at a game, you would attack it. Has anybody ever heard of Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
Players pretend to be characters in an imaginary world, primarily fantasy, much like Lord of the Rings. According to Tracy Wilson's article, How Stuff Works, live-action roleplay is a grown-up version of make-believe. I've been playing LARPs for 3 years now, and have been a plot member, creating scenarios for my players to problem solve or fight their way out of for half a year. I want to inform my audience about the benefits of playing the live-action role-playing game, or LARP. Live-action role-playing builds public speaking skills by encouraging interaction between players and plot members, or the person who makes up the stories. Develops acting skills as players dress and speak as their fictional characters, and is fun for those who love costumes. LARP encourages public speaking as a player and as a plot or staff member. Examples of these speeches are opening ceremonies, where the general manager gives out-of-play announcements, or he gives announcements as himself and not as his fantasy character, about changes to the rules, issues with the campsite itself where we play, and any number of important things that players need to know before the game starts. Safety courses are given by staff members to new players, explaining the rules of gameplay, how to safely fight with weapons, and what to do in case of emergency. And the head of plot gives a speech at the end of opening ceremonies, updating players on in-play or character happenings, the imaginary stuff. Plot members must be excellent public speakers. They are responsible for creating stories about the game world and its inhabitants, and must be able to describe places, objects, and people that are not present in such a way that players can understand and interact with them. Players interact with plot members during gameplay when plot members come out as different characters. Players speak to plot members in character to get valuable in-play information about characters or other scenes or stories. LARPers use these opportunities to hone their public speaking skills. Players also develop their acting skills by staying in character for 3 days straight, the duration of the game. That's another example of how we speak in groups. Acting. Improvisational acting. Most scenes are carefully planned out by a plot member who decides beforehand what will happen during the scene and what will happen when players react in certain ways. Some scenes are made up completely on the spot by a quick-thinking plot member who needs a way to entertain between scenes or between other in game. Regardless of the planning that goes into a scene, the outcome is based solely on the actions of the other players. The players will react quickly to a situation and make spur-of-the-moment decisions that plot members must interact with. Their actions and their dialogue are all improvised. In How Stuff Works, Lori Zolsky, a creator of her own LARP, says that LARP is a cross between a game and a form of theater. Students at MIT have taken it further, creating the Assassin's Guild, a live-action role-playing club comprised of actors, writers, and role-play gamers. This club was made famous for its improvisational acting. When players create a character, they put thought into their character's history and motivations. Background information makes acting as a character easier for the player. Costume is essential to LARPing and can vary in quality and style. costuming can be historically inspired or even based on popular movies. There are many ways to acquire a costume for live-action role-playing. It can be as complicated or as simple as you would like to make it. You can buy a frilly poet shirt and you're a pirate. Pirate? In conclusion, if you have an interest in acting or costuming, I hope you consider LARPing as an avenue for honing your skills. Like I said earlier, I was a plot member for half a year and a player for 3 years. I've collected costuming for many years now and have played as various characters at Nexus in the time as a plot member. I hope now, if you see someone like me running through Sam's with a cart full of soda and hot dogs, hurrying to get back to the hungry orcs and elves waiting back at the campsite, you'll think about what you have heard tonight and forgive us for any attacking monsters that may have followed us to the store. Before I finish.
Oh, good.
So,
Okay.
I got 4:45.
thank you, sir.